While most people would be anxious and worried about an impending court hearing, this guy seemed completely unconcerned about the seriousness of the situation. It almost felt like he was treating the whole thing as a joke, sinning, making faces, and goofing off as if he were in front of a bathroom mirror or filming a TikTok video. At first, I wondered if there might be mental issues at play, but after watching his case, it became clear that wasn't the issue. It's honestly mind blowing to me how someone could act so carefree while sitting in jail waiting for a court hearing. Or is this just a good example of not taking life too seriously? What do you think?
Ms. Capone, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
And I think we're waiting on Mr. Graham is here in the courtroom, but he's going to be logging onto the Zoom platform as well. And once Mr. Graham is on Zoom, we will go ahead and get started. Sir, in the Nisqually jail, you are muted, so we're going to need you to unmute. Should be able to, there we go. Sir, what is your name, please?
Antonio Spivey.
Thank you, sir. Give me just one moment. Mr. Spivey, hold on one second. We still have one of the attorneys joining us. As soon as that attorney is online, we'll go ahead and call your case, sir. All right, and there's Mr. Graham. Sir, good morning again. You are Antonio Spivey.
Yes.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure. Your date of birth is October 26th, 1994?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Spivey, good morning to you, sir. I have in front of me a document entitled Statement of Defendant on Plea of Guilty. Ms. Capone, is that how you anticipate Mr. Spivey's matter proceeding this morning?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Spivey and I reviewed and intend to have him enter into a plea of guilty. I'll invite the city to correct me if this plea form does not look accurate, but the intention is to plea to the cause number ending in 1763, the theft 3 charge, with credit for 5 days served, to be imposed 12 months of probation with no new law violations, to have dismissed the cause number ending in 1520, and then the SOC revoked on the cause number ending in 456, and enter those convictions with credit for 5 days served. Mr. Spivey and I reviewed the plea paperwork. I believe he understands everything contained within it and the ins and outs of this agreement, and we are ready to proceed.
Thank you very much, Ms. Capone. Mr. Spivey, did you hear everything that your attorney just represented to the court?
Yes, I did.
Is that all correct, sir?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Mr. Spivey, I have in front of me a statement of defendant on plea of guilty to actually 3 charges. It appears that you're asking the court to accept pleas of guilty to theft in the 3rd degree under cause number ending in 1763, theft in the 3rd degree under cause number ending in 456, and resisting arrest under cause number 456. If the court accepts those guilty pleas, it looks like the city is going to move to dismiss case ending in 1520. Is that your understanding of how you're asking to proceed this morning?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and you discussed the elements of the crimes of theft in the 3rd degree and resisting arrest with Ms. Capone?
Yes.
You understand what you're pleading guilty to?
Yeah.
All right. Sir, paragraph 5 of this guilty plea indicates a number of constitutional rights that you are waiving by entering into this guilty plea. Have you reviewed all of those rights with Ms. Capone?
Yes, I have.
Paragraph 11 asks you to state in your own words what it is that you did that makes you guilty of the crimes of theft in the 3rd degree, and resisting arrest. That paragraph reads as follows. On October 13th, 2024 in Lakewood, Washington, I took merchandise valued at $164.95 from Target without lawful authority and with intent to deprive. Is that a true and accurate statement of what makes you guilty of the crime of theft in the 3rd degree under cause number ending in 1763?
Yes.
Okay. Counsel, Mr. Graham and Ms. Capone, how do the parties want to address the factual basis for the additional counts of theft and resisting arrest under the SOC matter?
Your Honor, I know the typical procedure is for the court to review the police reports as they were stipulated to upon a revocation of an SOC. If the court or city would prefer, I can go through and add statements of fact. I'll defer.
Mr. Graham, do you have any preference?
I don't have a preference, Your Honor. If it's easy for the court to look at the police report, that's certainly sufficient.
Okay. So, yeah, I've seen people do this a couple of different ways. I've got no problem doing that. So, Mr. Spivey, hang tight for 1 second. I am going to review the report of the arresting officer in cause number ending in 0456 to determine whether or not, pursuant to the stipulation of the defense, that the court may review that, determine whether or not there's a factual basis to support those 2 charges. So give me just 1 second. For the record, the court has reviewed the report of the arresting officer in case number 0456 that was previously resolved with a agreed stipulated order of continuance signed under penalty of perjury by Officer Cerniauskas on March 11th, 2024. Based upon that, the court does find there is a factual basis to support the pleas of guilty to the crimes of theft in the 3rd degree and resisting arrest under cause number ending in 0456 if Mr. Spivey chooses to enter that plea. Okay, the court will now ask you, Mr. Spivey, to the crimes of theft in the 3rd degree under both cause numbers and the crime of resisting arrest under cause number ending in 0456, how do you plead at this time, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Court will accept all 3 pleas of guilty. The court will find there is a factual basis to support that plea. So at this point in time, the court has accepted Mr. Spivey's pleas of guilty. The court's going to make a finding that Mr. Spivey has entered the pleas of guilty under both of these cause numbers, knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily. He understands the charges he's pleading guilty to. He understands the potential consequences of his plea, the maximum penalties. There is a factual basis to support all three pleas, and the court will enter a finding of guilty at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor. We'd ask the court to accept the agreed recommendation. I believe it's fair, given there are 5 charges here, and Mr. Spivey is walking away with convictions on 3. He has minimal criminal history. He's not working, and he is without stable housing. So with regard to any discretionary fines and fees, I'd ask the court to waive any and all of them. I don't think Mr. Spivey will be a burden to probation, given the only condition for him is just to stay law-abiding, which prior to 2024 was not an issue, and I don't foresee being an issue going forward. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Spivey, the court is going to impose sentence as follows in this case. On cause number ending in 1763, pursuant to your plea of guilty to the crime of theft in the 3rd degree, the court will impose 364 days in jail, will suspend 359 days, impose a fine of $5,000, and suspend all $5,000. Both provisions are suspended for a term of 12 months. Both provisions are suspended for a term of 12 months. The only conditions of suspended sentence during that 12 months will be that you have law-abiding behavior and that you have no contact with or go upon the property of the Target store in Lakewood Town Center. During that 12 months will be the court will also at this time that you have no contact with or go dismiss with prejudice case number ending in 1520 and order Mr. Spivey's release under that case at this time. On cause number ending in 056, the court will impose on both count 1 and count 2 of the criminal complaint, theft in the 3rd degree and resisting arrest, 5 days in custody, credit for 5 days served, that case to close upon the Nisqually jail certification that Mr. Spivey has served those 5 days. I'm also going to note, and I have not done that previously, that all 3 sentences for each of the 3 counts, the jail time will be ordered to run concurrent. Case to close upon with one another. Jail certification that Mr. Spivey has served those 5 days. I'm also going to note, and the court has signed that judgment and sentence. Mr. Spivey, you should be released later on today, sir. I wish you the very best of luck with everything going forward, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. You can go ahead and let the officer know that your hearing is concluded.
All right.
Okay, Mr. Spivey, the court is going to impose sentence as follows in this case. On cause number ending in 1763, pursuant to your plea of guilty to the crime of theft in the 3rd degree, the court will impose 364 days in jail, will suspend 359 days, impose a fine of $5,000, and suspend all $5,000. Both provisions are suspended for a term of 12 months.
All right.